with David Hanni, the State Bird Conservation Coordinator. You join us for the festival each year. You do a lot throughout the state. You tend to be someone that's behind the scenes. But David, tell us about your job. Tell us what you do for birds in Tennessee.
Yeah, so I'm the Bird Conservation Coordinator for TWRA, and my basic responsibilities are all of the non-game birds, and so those are the birds that you can't hunt. And we have a state wildlife action plan that we put together, and that gives us federal funding to protect and conserve these birds, the non-game birds. And so we have about 90 bird species in Tennessee that I'm responsible for.
Wow.
So
No
it's a lot of birds. It's a lot of birds to take care of.
It is. Why should people be concerned with birds in Tennessee and beyond Tennessee?
Yeah, well, recently there's been a publication that just came out last year, and it documents that 3 billion birds with a B have been lost since 1970, and they've used information from the Breeding Bird Survey, which is conducted annually, and then also through radar information, just documenting biomass of birds that are migrating each year. And so, I mean, that's really a place where we need to be concerned, is losing 3 billion birds in that amount of time.
That is very significant.
And so we need to start and just to begin to act. And I mean, there's some simple things that we can start with, just at home, plant native species, you can keep your cats inside, just be engaged with community science, get involved with the Tennessee Ornithological Society, your Audubon chapter, and
a lot of good programs out there to help birds right now. We have links to a lot of those on our website. We encourage folks to visit those, see how they can be with birds, involved with birds in their area.
And then also, I mean, these birds are not spending all their time in Tennessee. These are migratory birds, and so we really need to look at the full annual cycle of what's going on. And so, a lot of the birds from Tennessee will leave here and go down into Central and South America, and likewise, a lot of the birds from the boreal forest will come down to Tennessee, and so it's really important.
So Tennessee becomes important for bird conservation because we are a migratory destination.
Right. I mean, especially, sitting here with these sandhill cranes, I mean, they're just here during the winter, and so they'll spend their time and their breeding up around the Great Lakes and come down here during the winter.
So everybody can get involved, and we have those websites, but you're involved in a lot of projects. Tell us about what you have going on right now.
Yeah, so annually we've been doing bald eagle surveys where we're monitoring bald eagle nests across the state. We're also looking at colonial water birds. I mean, the double-crested cormorant's really been expanding throughout the state, and we're trying to document that and how it's affecting other species like black-crowned night heron, and some of the other species that we're concerned about in Tennessee. One project that I think we can use some help from the general public would be a loggerhead shrike project, which is a neat bird. And so that's an eastern-wide project. We're cooperating with several different states. And throughout this whole geography, we're putting on color bands. And so if you're out about and you see a loggerhead shrike and you see color bands, then definitely report them to me.
Where should they be reported?
Just to david.hanni@tn.gov.
That's awesome. Is that one of your favorites? You have a favorite project going on right now?
Oh, so many more to tell you about. And we've been really working with these eastern-wide efforts for golden eagles as well. And so we've been putting satellite transmitters on those birds, or cell tower transmitters on those birds, and so we're able to track the migratory paths of that species. And there's one which is really neat. Sequatchia is the name of the bird, and it's one that we captured on Prentice Cooper. I think it was 5 years ago, and so we've been tracking the migration paths of that bird for 5 years, along with many other individuals.
Yeah,
that species.
That is an amazing project, and there's a website that folks can go to learn more about the Golden Eagle project.
On our Tennessee Watchable Wildlife, we have a link to some of the maps that I try and keep updated to see the migratory paths of the golden eagles.
Yeah, that is.
And then we're just starting a new project with golden wing warbler, and that'll be out in the Appalachian Mountains. That species has really been declining. It's a bird that's on our state threatened list, and it's being evaluated to see if it should be on the federal list as well. And so what we're looking at is we're doing a lot of elk management up around in Region 4 and in North Cumberland. And we really want to see how those projects are affecting golden-winged warblers. Are they bringing them in? Are we getting more? And then also trying to track the female survivorship to see what that looks like in that area. And so we'll be trying to put up a MODIS tower, and this is new technology where you put these tiny little transmitters on birds, and there's an array of these towers all over the world. And so it's similar to the device that you saw Charles talk about, where they were tracking the whooping cranes. And so similar technology, only these are towers that are static, and so anytime a bird comes over with a tag, we're able to detect that individual bird.
We've heard about the MODIS towers before, so one important part of your job is all the partnerships.
Yes.
Because you're one person for an entire state. So you really rely on those partnerships, the MODIS Tower project. We appreciate the work that you do. You put a lot into it. And it's more about our huntable species in Tennessee. There's the non-huntable species across the state too. So I appreciate the dedication that you have.
Good.
You do join us every year for the Sandhill Crane Festival. What do you enjoy about the festival and your time with us?
I mean, I just love the cranes. I mean, it's great to be out here and hear the cranes. I mean, it's just such a neat thing to see these birds. But I think what I really think is important about the festival is the education aspect of it, and reaching out to the younger generation and getting them outside and teaching them about birds and wildlife. And I think that creating that legacy is really important and a great part of this festival.
So we can't be together this year with the pandemic and have guests to the refuge, but if folks want to go out and bird, if they want to find out where they can see birds in their area, where can they go to? What are some resources that they can use?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at the tnbirdingtrail.org. I mean, that site will show you where to go. It'll give you a description of the site location. It'll lead you directly to the site and tell you what you can expect to find there. You can also go to eBird, look on there to see where birds have recently been detected if you're looking for species specific, and then also just get involved with the Tennessee Ornithological Society. They offer a lot of field trips and things like that you can get engaged with. And also there may be an opportunity to do a Christmas bird count, and that's put on by Audubon, and those are located throughout the state. And
coming up.
And it's coming up quick.
And we'll have links to all of that on our webpage. David, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for the work that you do for bird conservation here and beyond.
Right.
We appreciate you every year at the festival and your knowledge, and we appreciate you here in the state.
Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure.